This is the Sunshine Cathedral perspective. Is marriage important? Survey says most people say no. According to a new report from the Pew Research Center, the American public's views of the family are complicated and becoming more pessimistic about the institution of marriage and the family. Social and legal changes in recent decades have increased the variety of households in the United States. Pew's analysis of U.S. Census Bureau data shows that a growing share of U.S. adults in recent decades have either delayed or foregone marriage. The survey about the future of the country found that when asked about marriage and family, 40% of Americans said they are very or somewhat pessimistic about the institution of marriage and the family. Just 25% are very or somewhat optimistic. Another 29% said they are neither optimistic nor pessimistic. While the American public generally supports a variety of family arrangements, the survey found they more favorably view some types of families over others. The vast majority, about 90%, said an opposite-sex couple raising children, whether married or not, is a completely acceptable arrangement, while smaller majorities said the same about single parents at 60% and about same-sex couples at 47%. Just 23% of Americans called being married as either extremely or very important to living a fulfilling life, while just 26% said the same about having children. Okay. Numbers are interesting. Numbers are interesting, and that's really what I want to say about that. I did a little lookup on this. And of course, I looked on the internet, and everything on the internet, of course, is absolutely true. You know that,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
But there's different polls and different surveys. And according to Gallup, 71% of Americans view same-sex marriage as favorably. That's according to Gallup. According to Pew, it's 61%.
Yeah.
And according to ABC and the Washington Post, it is 58%. So take a lot of those.
We're getting worse as you
Yeah,
go.
yeah. But that's
Don't go
kind
anymore.
of the point. I mean,
Yeah, but at
take
this
all
table,
of
it's
those
100%.
with a grain of salt.
Yeah.
Really, a lot of these are with kind of a grain of salt. And I know a number of these numbers are from Pew Research Center, so take that for what it's worth. What struck me as interesting, though, is when you consider same-sex couples with children, that's when it went way down. It went down to about 47%. So if you look at people who approve of same-sex or same-gender marriage, 60 to 70%, a significant majority. But when you factor in children, that number drops dramatically. So I think that's maybe where we really have some work to do.
Yeah. About 84% of all statistics are made up on the spot to make
Absolutely,
to prove a point.
absolutely.
Yeah. And what is it? There are lies, damn lies in statistics. So, but the truth is, I see where people are saying it's not important anymore.
Right.
Because it doesn't exist the way it's being presented anymore.
Correct.
The nuclear family, the two parents, one job, 2 kids, 3 kids, in the suburbs.
Yeah.
They go to church, they go to school. They're the Leave It to Beaver family. That doesn't exist.
Right.
And having a father and a mother doesn't make it a safe home.
Right.
You can have drunk parents, you can have abusive parents, you can have, parents who, are working all the time and don't have time for the kids. I've seen so many families of people raised by their grandma, or by their great aunt, or by their older sibling, or by foster parents or adoptive parents, or by same gender parents. And what seems to make the happy home, though, is commitment and love and kindness and generosity, and that doesn't have anything to do with gender or numbers or age.
Right.
Like if I'm 10 and my caregiver is 70, that might be an ideal situation. It just depends on the love and the kindness and the means of support and all of that.
Right.
And so I think that's what people are saying when they say it's not important. It's not important the way the religious right says it has to be.
Yeah.
But I think we all love our families, and your family might be your 6 best friends.
Yeah.
But our families, whoever they are,
Right.
I mean, your family might be your 2 pets, but our families, that's our unit of love and support. And I just think people are over telling people how that has to look. And so I think family's important. I don't know that Leave It to Beaver. Now, my marriage is important to me.
Yeah.
Because I waited a lifetime for it.
Yeah.
And we had to fight in every state to get it.
Yep.
And, it's precious to me. But again, that's me. You know, like no one has to share my value.
Right.
What I'm worried about, though, is if you're like, oh, it's just a piece of paper and, love is in the heart and our commitment is between each other, that's beautiful. And that's a Hallmark movie. But when somebody dies,
Yes.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
or if there's a breakup, God forbid, or without the legal protections of marriage, you can have some added heartache. Your life is you're already going through a terrible thing, and now you've got to fight what would have been in-laws if you'd been married,
Yep.
and then the law would be on your side. That I just think there are some legal protections that we deserve that we're cheating ourselves out of. If we are in love, I'm not just going to marry somebody off the street, but if I'm in a long-term relationship and we think this is going to be it, I think protect that.
Yes.
Take care of yourself.
Absolutely, absolutely. When Amy and I were married, we had been together for 10 years. And I had made the decision at that time to leave the corporate world to come here to Sunshine Cathedral. We wanted me to be on her insurance. And so initially, that was why we got married. And then we got married and everything changed.
Yes.
We're married, you just feel so different. Everything, the commitment is deeper, it is stronger. This is why we originally did it. And wow,
Right.
changed everything.
And you made vows to each other in front of witnesses.
Oh, yes.
And you were living it already, but when you do it in front of it's
yes.
a different level of accountability.
Yes.
Like I'm promising in front of people.
Yep.
And that makes it a thing.
Yeah.
I've got so many layers because of what this conversation has moved into. First, 100% of the people at this table are married to their spouses.
Yes.
True story.
Yes.
Secondly, 67% of the people at this table have raised children. My husband and I raised our oldest grandson from the time he was about 11 until majority. And it makes a difference when there is a family of love.
Yeah.
People,
That's the only family I knew of yours. Before I met his mother,
yeah,
maybe a year before I met his mother, that was the family I knew.
Absolutely.
And he
and it is still a loving family.
and he was going to school, having to make those grades. He had all this bling going on. He was.
We were good parents.
I'm saying people would want Laron's life.
Oh my goodness. Where was I going? Wow, I just got sidetracked. The whole idea about numbers is, like you said, lies and damn
they're
lies.
just numbers.
They are just numbers. Let's go back to what I guess this survey was trying to show, that trends and thoughts are changing in America,
Yeah.
and they're changing for the better. If we listen to, mostly for the better, there are hiccups, there are going to be hiccups. If we listen to the right-wing media, you would believe that the world is coming to an end. This didn't just start.
Right.
Yeah.
This didn't just start. We have been raising families forever. Forever. And for us to worry about what the rest of the world says, we ain't doing it.
Right.
Just like we're not going back in the closet, we're not going to worry about the world says about how we raise our children. Look at what our children are doing.
Yeah.
Our child is married, got 2 kids, is an IT specialist, and
Home in
doing better,
Connecticut.
home in Connecticut, doing better than one could ever expect.
Yeah.
That's because he grew up in a loving family.
Yep. And it's been, since day one, when your life falls apart, it is the lesbian aunt or the gay uncle that either takes the kids or the pets or has to take care of the elderly parent.
Yeah.
Because they're otherwise free. They've got some disposable income and they've got some free time. And so, right? And so,
Yes.
will you take over where I can't take care of mom anymore, or I can't take care of my kids anymore? Uncle Kevin, and now we talk about him or whatever, but he's got some coins and he does love the kids. And so we've been doing it forever.
Yeah.
They've been shoving it off on us forever because they knew we'd do a good job.
And not so much shoving, but making good options, good choices for their children.
Yeah.
Making the right choice to ensure that their child gets, and our grandchild's mother said, I can raise him. And I think that he needs a male voice in his ear. So sometimes it makes a difference. Not always, but sometimes it makes a difference. And his mother made a conscious effort to make sure that her child got the best care that he could get.
Well, he was in an urban, super big city environment. where he was going to be influenced by somebody.
Absolutely.
And she wanted to make sure it was the right somebody.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Beautiful. Next up, we are excited to tell you about our next adventure with our Global Fellowship. In 2024, we'll be going where the hills are alive as we explore Austria and Alpine Europe for Gay Oktoberfest. Space is extremely limited, so make sure to go to happeningout.travel/sunshine to reserve your space now.
Would you like to join the Queer God Squad on a special winter cruise in 2024? Well, now you can. You will visit Cozumel, Mexico, Grand Cayman, and Ocho Rios. And you can even add an open bar and Wi-Fi. Join us by going to happeningout.travel/sunshine.